Hi, quick video for any gas safe registered installers, particularly those with an interest in Vaillant. Also any homeowners who may question the merits of having their gas appliance serviced and maintained on a regular basis. Hopefully it will be of interest to you. This is an ecoTec Plus, excellent boiler, about 10 years old. It's had a few problems. It's been showing an F28 code over the last few days. F28 is generally a gas valve fault, as many of you will know. Normally a faulty gas valve needing replacement or repair, which can also be some other things. It can be condense issues, it can be PCB, but generally 9 times out of 10 it would be a gas valve problem. Now, on first inspecting this boiler, I was drawn to the fact that there are quite bad signs of leakage of products of combustion around the burner door seal, as you can see. Now that's pretty unusual. I've not seen that to that extent before on one of these boilers. Just going to undo these for you. I've loosened them off just to show you the inside. Even the electrodes mount where it joins the burner, again you can see spillage and calcification of products around the edges of that. But yeah, round the door, this boiler has been in distress. So let's get this off and we'll have a look inside and see what's going on in here. Okay, that's that. Okay. Well, as you can see, this boiler has serious problems. This is the heat exchanger here. Now that back wall, or the yellow area, you can see that should be a nice thick slab of insulation. As you can see, it's disintegrated. It's back to the metal in places. There's bits of that insulation laying in here, but for the most part this is calcified products of combustion. This has been seriously blocked, and by the looks of it there's a tide line. Don't know if you can see that. There's almost a tide line on the inside of the heat exchanger where it looks like water or condensed liquid has been allowed to fill up and basically drown in the boiler. Now these inside here, these are waterways, flueways. They should all be clear. As you can see, lots of debris. There's supposed to be a small gap between these, which should be regularly cleaned out. The products pass through there, come into the bottom of the heat exchanger, and the liquid travels down this tube and into the condense trap. Now it could be a problem with the condense. It could well be that trap was blocked, or the tube, which hasn't been allowing the liquid to get away, and it's built up and created this reservoir, what looks like a reservoir, which is completely rotted the inside of that boiler. I'll just show you the heat engine of the boiler that we've taken off previously, and you can have a look at that and see the state that that's in. Now this is the heat engine, that's the burner. Again, you can see the insulation is disintegrated, it's wrecked. The dark colour around the edge, that's the burner door seal, which has clearly failed, as we've seen from up round the edges of the heat exchanger there. It doesn't actually look too bad. It's fairly uniform. It's got no real bad pitted areas, but there are places on it that look as if they've lifted out of the seal. Looks as if it's actually out of the rebated area of the burner door. Now these burners I have seen them warped before, but this one doesn't look too bad, so I don't think that's what's happened. But the burner itself, I mean, ignore the surface rust. That's, you know, that's common for a boiler of this age. It's about 10 years old. So, but that looks to me like it's been almost submerged in water. So that's been firing. That's been firing into the heat exchanger and probably had water up onto the bottom of it. The electrodes again, which should be cleaned regularly on a service, they are in a right old state. Now they're probably what's called up the F28 fault. That's probably why the boiler went off a few days ago, because they have either been affected by being submerged in water or just generally the corroded and messy state of them all. But this boiler is in a heck of a state. I've never seen one in all my years of installing and servicing these Vaillants, or indeed any of these boilers with these modern heat exchangers. I've never seen one in this state, and I just think that, forgive the one-handed video, I just think it just shows we live in a culture now where we say, oh, these modern boilers, they don't take an awful lot of cleaning. We get the analyzer out, take a few readings, yeah, that's fine, that's within permitted, that's good for another year. I think this shows you that you really do have to get inside these, get your heat exchanger tool out, get between them flueways and really give it a good clean out. Make sure this sump area is clean, make sure the tube is clean, and you know, and the trap as well. Make sure it's all clean and free, because what's gone on here is an absolute disaster. Dangerous, and to be honest, it's kind of the end of the boiler's life, really. If I could just show you, I've got another one of these ecoTec Pluses. Similarly enough, it's a 10-year-old boiler also. I'll just show you what the heat exchange looks like on that one, and you'll see perhaps what we're dealing with. So this, as I say, that's another ecoTec Plus, 10 years old. A little bit of debris in there, but not much. Pretty clean for its age. Was working up until it was removed, this boiler. I'll show you the engine on this one. As you can see, 10 years old. Burner clean. Insulation for the most part in pretty good shape. Burner door seal, excellent condition. So that's the difference between an ecoTec Plus 10 years old, which has obviously been looked after and hasn't had any problems and has been regularly serviced, to that of its sibling, which is in a horrible mess. I'd be interested to know if, particularly if there's anyone linked with Vaillant servicing and their engineers, if there's anyone seen one this bad before, because I certainly haven't, and any other reasons they might think other than poor maintenance that's caused this. If there could have been anything else that would have brought it about, but other than the flueways not being cleaned or a blockage on the condense, I can't really see why this has failed so badly. But I would be interested, if you leave a comment, I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are. All that's left for me to do really is to contact the local clergyman, get someone here to administer the last rites to this poor beast. The new boiler going in here now, again it'll be a Vaillant ecoTec Plus 2021 version. Unfortunately, great cost to the homeowner. It's a shame, because if this had been picked up a bit earlier or had a little bit more regular maintenance, then this might not have happened. I think this boiler probably would have had years left in it. There's not much wrong with the boiler anywhere else. It's all pretty good nick. You've got a little bit of the usual signs of that sound insulation that's failing there, but that's no great shakes. Everything else was working on it. All looked pretty good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd be interested to know your comments and thoughts on it, and thanks for watching.